In Kenshi, survival isn't the goal, it's the tutorial. You are not the hero, you are not special, and no one's coming to save you. This is the game that says, what if Fallout, RimWorld, and Mad Max had a weird baby and then dropped it in the desert and told it to figure life out? It's $30 on Steam, it'll eat your time, your patience, and probably your sanity. And honestly, I loved it, mostly. Let's break it down. Kenshi is a sandbox RPG where you can be literally anyone. A one-legged thief, a cannibal chef, a skeleton monk with massive strength, a humble farmer selling drugs, whatever. There's no main quest, no goal. The game just drops you in a world that's already dying and says, good luck, try not to get eaten. Then you proceed in one of two ways, get enslaved or, get eaten alive. Mechanics are pretty deep. You level up by doing, so your guy sucks at combat until they get beat up for 10 hours and finally learn to block. Unless, they die first. Keep in mind, your start choice normally has you start with a pretty weak fighter, and yeah, remember the whole not a hero thing? You can build cities, recruit squads, rob caravans, starve to death in a ditch, lose an arm or leg, or both, replace them with robo-limbs, and keep fighting. The sandbox possibilities are nuts, but it is also janky. Half the time you're just watching your dude get slapped by a goat. The animations sometimes break. Your character will often just get stuck somewhere. Sometimes their pathing just makes you ask, what the hell? Learning the different weapons and armors and stats alone is a pretty huge learning curve. Actually, it's less of a curve and more of a cliff you're pushed off without legs. Kenshi has no hand-holding story, but if you're patient, the world does have lore, and it's fascinating. You're living in the ruins of a hyper-advanced empire that used to have spaceflight and gene-altering technology with super laser cannons. Now, people are impressed by crossbows, like literal sticks that go thunk. You'll find books and ruins that hint at this lost past, and it's like being a scavenger in a post-cyberpunk apocalypse. But the thing is, quests and world state changes exists. They're just cryptic, rare, and don't feel like they matter. You can kill off entire factions, but the world barely reacts. So while the world feels alive, it doesn't really respond to what you do, and that kind of sucks. Though, let's be real, if you get strong enough to actually kill a faction, you basically won. This is a sandbox. You make your own story, your own life goals, your own adventure, and your own destruction. Let's be real, Kenshi is not the prettiest game ever made. It looks like Fallout 3 fell into a blender full of sand and sadness. But there's a weird charm to it. The world is desolate, rusty, and post everything, and that works. It's a techno-feudal wasteland. You've got gas-masked samurai, giant spider robots, and weird tower cities that look like someone built them in a fever dream. Like, just look at this one area. It has laser beams that I'm pretty sure are just beamed 24/7, cause no one has the remote to turn the lasers off. It's janky, but cool janky. The soundtrack is low-key great. Ambient, eerie, minimal. Makes you feel like you're walking through a forgotten empire at the end of time, which seems kinda accurate, I guess. The sound effects though, kinda crunchy. Kinda placeholder, it gets the job done. It's not great, but it's not really bad either, but no one's playing this game for the audio mixing, let's be honest. Kenshi will make your PC cry. It's not demanding in a GPU way, it just doesn't optimize well, and it will crash a fair amount. Frame rate with big squads will drop. It has slow loading zone areas, occasional bugs like enemies get stuck in rocks doing the T-pose. But hey, it's an indie game made by like 5 people in a dream. You forgive a lot when the sandbox is this deep. Besides the fact that this game is pretty old now, even though they keep it updated, and let's remember, this is easily moddable, which means they got mods for everything, including performance, but more on mods later. Progress is slow, like glacial. You start off getting beat up by starving bandits and feel like a god when you finally build a shack and a bed. But once you get a squad going, build a town, start making weapons, or running a drug empire, it does snowball, and it's super replayable. You'll want to do different starts. Wanderer, the Cannibal, the Holy Nation, Exile. Each gives a very different vibe and vastly different starting difficulties. Like the rock bottom one. You start dying, starving, and missing an arm. Just brutal. Like I said before, this is $30 for hundreds of hours of game if you're into it. You could play this game for months and still discover new stuff. It's a lifestyle game like RuneScape or Dwarf Fortress. If you are into slow burn sandbox pain with a side of dread, Kenshi's kind of a steal. When you add things like Star Wars lightsabers, mountable horses, robotic walking backpacks, more weapons, playable vampires, and of course, we have to mention the bouncing boobs mod. The value of the game really does skyrocket a lot, as there are so many ways you can improve the game with just the Steam Workshop. No hassle modding is always the best kind. Nothing else really plays like Kenshi either. It's not just original, it's boldly weird. No quests, no real direction, just emergent storytelling, survival, and tactical beatdowns with rusty swords. It's like if someone made a life sim where the life is 90% pain and 10% victory, and that makes the victory feel earned. And that's a perfect segue into the next topic, difficulty. This game is brutal. You will get jumped, you will lose limbs, you will get enslaved, starve, bleed out, and get eaten by bug monsters. You will get left to bleed out, unable to wake up due to blood loss, while, you lose all your blood and die. You are safer in numbers, sure, but even the group will be on the ground waiting to be rescued, slowly bleeding out. Basically, this game doesn't care about you, and that's what makes it beautiful. There is no level scaling. The world is dangerous and you have to adapt, not the other way around. Death is not even around every corner, but it's in the shadow of every stone and pebble. This game isn't for everyone. It's weird, rough, and completely unwelcoming. But if you can survive that first 10 hours of pure suffering, it opens up into one of the richest, most replayable sandboxes out there. It's like Dwarf Fortress, but you are the dwarves. And also, you're starving, and the dwarves hate you. Closest comparisons I can really think of are Mountain Blade, but more RPG and less riding around on a horse. Dwarf Fortress, but more visual, less spreadsheets, or RimWorld, but the world is actively trying to get you to uninstall. I give this game an 8 out of 10, because while the sandbox is phenomenal, the world building is wild, and the replayability is insane, it really falls short with quests and the world state being underwhelming. Jank and lack of guidance can be a bit too much for new players, and it looks like it was made in 2010, because, it kinda was. But if you're the kind of player who likes to suffer a little, to build something out of nothing, to turn a one-legged rice farmer into a cyberpunk warlord, then yeah, Kenshi might just be your next obsession. I also want to mention how they have been working on a Kenshi 2, and oh my goodness, it looks like they made it so much easier to play without nerfing the Unforgiving world. I'm kinda hyped. Okay, well, that's all today. Comment below if you disagree, and thank you for watching this far. Have a great day, and see you down the path, gamers.